So, welcome to the shed. Just a short, quick video, more of an update video on the Hitchcocks side stand extender that I fitted. Would be last year, but a number of months ago. It's been working great to stop the bike sinking into the ground. However, there's always a however. What I found is because the side stand extender is 8mm thick, and because my Himalayan stood a bit high on its side stand, and I always felt it was slightly too long. It's great on flat ground, as it was, but when I put the side stand extender on, what I noticed is if there's the slightest bit of camber the wrong way, the bike's too upright and it's very unstable. So choice, get rid of the side stand extender, which I don't want to do because it's a good quality side stand extender and it does spread the load and it stops it sinking. Cut down my existing stand, but then again, the only guy I know that got the skills to cut it and weld it back together properly so it's strong enough is very busy, and I didn't want to bother him. The other option, buy a new side stand. Now Hitchcocks do one for $34.50 plus delivery plus VAT, so it comes out just over £40. So I bit the bullet and I ordered one, and it arrived in, I think it was 2 days on standard delivery, which was great. So when I had a minute, I fitted it to the bike. But before I fitted it, I was looking at it and I thought, this seems a bit long. I was supposed to be a short stand. So I took mine off, and when I held them up to each other, I thought, no, that's definitely, it could be my eyes, but I think that's longer. So I stood them on the bench and I thought, yeah, it's definitely standing taller. And then I measured it from the centre of the bolt hole to the heel of the side stand. And it was roughly, I'm going to say roughly because I was using a tape measure, it was roughly 9 or 10mm longer. I thought, that's not good. So I rang Hitchcocks and spoke to them, and they couldn't understand it. They thought it might be the angle, it might just look longer, but the angle it sits at, I thought, it sits at a different angle. Anyway, to be fair, Hitchcocks, Derek at Hitchcocks who I was speaking to, he was great. He says, give me your phone number, I'll ring you back. I'm going to go and get one of our Himalayans, which he took note of the year of my Himalayan, and he went and got one of theirs, and he compared the stand. Took a new one off the shelf and went and compared it. And this is where the story went a bit funny, because it turned out that yes, although the part number was correct, the item in the box was incorrect, and it looks like their supplier has sent a shipment of some of the boxes that contain, or should contain, short stands, have a mixture of the short and the regular size stands, I would assume, or slightly longer stands. Anyway, the stand in the box is the wrong one. So he said he would ship me out a new one, and to be fair, it arrived within a day. It arrived the next day, I think. I was surprised when there was a parcel for me. So it's been a couple of days ago because I had to wait for the weekend when I had time to fit it. So I've just fit the new shorter side stand. So take a look at that video. Take a look at the footage. I've just fitted, so here's some footage of me doing that. Alright, I'm going to change the side stand. But to get to it, you need to take this bolt out underneath here. But the gear linkage is in the way. You can get an Allen key into it, but then when the bolt backs out, it's going to contact the linkage for the gear change. So best take this out of the way. And just on the gear lever itself, there's an 8mm Allen bolt. So that needs to come out first. And then that's out the way. This is a 6mm Allen bolt. But it's got a nylock nut on the back, which I forgot about. So on the back of the stand, there is a 12mm nylock nut holding the assembly together. So we need to put a spanner on it to stop it rotating, and then we can undo this. You could just take the nut off the back, but you're faffing about underneath then. There you go, it's off now. There you go, there's a 12mm nut. It's nylock. I'll put that down there. Take this nut out. Or bolt out rather. You'll feel when it's free. There you go. Put them together for now. Don't want to lose them. So the only thing holding this on now is the spring. So, take that off. And that's the side stand off. I'm going to take the extender off. Alright, I don't know how this is going to come out. The light's a bit ropey in the shed today. But the easiest way I found to do this is on the bike, but as it's not on the bike, I'm just going to put the stand in, lightly in the vise. I've got some rubber jaws in the vise so I don't mark anything. And then we're going to put the extender back on. It's showing a bit of wear, but then again it would. The paint's flaking off. But it's been a good foot, this. And that just sits in there like that. A bit more play in this one. So that still doesn't quite fit through there, but it goes in that way. So that goes on there, that fits through, and then you put the bolts in. Remembering not to tighten it up too much, because it's the foot itself is made of aluminium. I suppose if you strip the threads, you could always countersink the bottom and put the bolt up from the other way and put a nylock nut on the top. But find it easier to start them all by hand. Make sure they're all well in. That one feels a bit snug actually. It's in. Start them off by hand and then snug them up with an Allen key. There we go. That's the extender fitted. Very easy to do. Now we'll go fit it back to the bike. Alright, and let's put the stand back on. The easiest way I found to do this was to hook the spring on first and then get it roughly into position
like so. Then line up the hole as best you can. And again, start your bolt by hand so you know it's in properly. There you go, just nip it a little bit and give it a test. Yeah, that's fine. Snug it up, and then not forgetting the locking nut on the back. Now I found that if you keep the side stand down when you put the locking nut on, there's nothing in the way at the back. Put the side stand up, the spring gets in the way. There you go, snug that up. So the stand's on. Now just have to reconnect the gear linkage. Again, call me old and fussy, but start it by hand, then you know it's well in. Get it a few turns in. Nothing worse than crossing the thread. Especially if I haven't got a set of taps to snug it out again. Right, so there you go. Shorter side stand. Just what the doctor ordered. So that's the side stand on. What I have to do now is box up the incorrect side stand and get that shipped back. So the total cost to me is going to be twice the shipping, because I'm going to have to pay to get it shipped back to them. Yeah. That's the bit I'm not happy about. I can live with the frustration of getting the wrong one because they dealt with it straight away. However, the fact that I'm having to post to send something back that was not my fault. I didn't order the wrong part. It wasn't that I didn't like the part. I've done nothing wrong. I've ordered the part. They've shipped the wrong one out, but I have to pay extra now to send it back. That's the one thing I'm not happy about with Hitchcocks, to be perfectly honest. Everything I've had from them has arrived in good order, in good time, and it's been excellent. Just this one little hiccup that's costing me more money, and yeah, I'm old, I don't have a lot of money. So yeah, I'm whining now. I'm going to stop whining. Yes, we'll start that again. So the only downside of this experience is the fact that I am going to be out of pocket sending back their mistake. But to be fair, they rectified the mistake very quickly. Yeah, just grinds my gears a bit that they could have shipped a return mailing label, prepaid postage label with it. That would have been nice. But there you go. Lesson learned. But to be fair, as I keep saying, and I'm going to say this again, Derek at Hitchcocks was brilliant. He listened to it, he investigated it, and he sorted it all out within a day, or within a day and a bit. So that was my side stand experience with Hitchcocks. Let's hope the bike's a bit more stable now with a slightly shorter stand. It's got it back to slightly under what the original stand was. I think it's slightly shorter, a millimetre or two. But that'd be grand. If it's a pain in the bum, I'll report back later. Right, so for now, ride safe, be safe, enjoy life. Ta-ra.